Hello everyone, welcome once again to ReRun Videos and welcome back to Foxhall Stadium. It's something special for you tonight. It's the Sky Bet Elite League Knockout Cup Final. It's the first leg, it's the Evening Star Witches and the POOLE Pirates in contention here for the last piece of silverware on offer in 2004. As I stand before you now, the crowd are piled up at the turnstiles, and we may have to even delay the start. There's so many people want to get in to watch this meeting here tonight against arguably the two best teams in the league, although say the POOLE Pirates Elite League champions and Wolverhampton join them in that Elite League final, a case of what may have been for the Witches. But what certainly is true for the Witches is that this is their last chance of silverware in 2004, and now that it's the first leg, with POOLE having been rained off earlier in the week, we certainly need to win, and win well, to take any kind of advantage down to Wimborne Road on the 31st of October for the second leg. So both teams are as per programme, and so really fired up for it. So let's hope for some cracking action. The track is in tip-top condition. The natural watering has really helped us here tonight. So we're looking forward to some splendid speedway. Steve is here with us tonight to capture some of the action, so it must be a special occasion. So let's go to the pits now and join a few of the riders. Ryan Sullivan joins us now, just been out to have a little dig at the starting gate. What the conditions look like?
Yeah, considering the amount of rain they've had over the last few days, I think they've done a great job of preparing the track.
So it's a little bit frustrating for all the competitors that last night was called off. It's disappointing really that the IPSWICH fans won't see the actual final, but we're still in for some cracking action tonight.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's still a tough meeting. It's the cup final. Lucky to get it on today, although the weather's been good. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do about the weather, is there? So, you know, I guess it's good for POOLE in a way. We do get the final leg.
Foxhall is a track you've consistently performed well at, so presumably you'll be passing on some of that track knowledge to some of the lesser experienced riders.
Let's hope so. You know, yeah, it's been okay for me. I quite like the circuit, but you know, IPSWICH are a strong team, and it's quite easy to have a bad day. But yeah, I mean, I like the place, and all the boys are pumped up, so we're ready for a good one.
And you're feeling fit? We haven't seen you, of course, since your crash in Norway, but probably still a little bit sore.
No, I'm all okay now. You know, it's I've got over all my injuries, so I'm all ready.
Hoping to lead the POOLE Pirates to a double-double, which hasn't happened for many years.
No, let's hope so. You know, fingers crossed, all goes well.
All right, we'll let you carry on. Thank you very much. Right, the Pirates captain Magnus ZETTERSTROM joins us now. Cup final action. Magnus, of course, the Pirates have already won the Elite League, so you'd really love to lift this one as well.
Of course, you know, I mean, winning the Elite title is the main thing, but I mean, now when we are in the final, you want to do that one to win that one as well, of course.
We all witnessed the Zorro tears as you lifted the Elite League Championship, an ambition well and truly fulfilled for you.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I've been in the club for 9 years, and we were close to it, 99, but against Peterborough when I broke my leg, and we lost it. And you know, I've always been one of the dreams to win the title here in England, and you know, when you're lifting that title up, the trophy up, and you hear the noise from the crowd, and so it's just nice.
POOLE had such a phenomenal year last year. It's very rare that a club manages to repeat that. What do you really think the success has been down to in 2004?
I mean, they're always keen to put the team together that can work together, that not are just working for themselves, and also they have picked the riders that can increase their average through the season. And I mean, they've been great to work with them, the whole team, because they all want to win something, and that's good, you know.
Many people felt after Tony Rickardsson's departure that would really affect the Pirates, but Ryan Sullivan has more than bridged that gap.
That's right. I mean, it's not easy to fill the gap from Tony, but Ryan is a top-class rider, and he really came in and did a job that we expect him to do. So, yeah, it's been really good.
We've already spoken to Middleditch, the team manager. He's looking to keep it very close here tonight. Presumably you want to go back to Dorset with a win, ideally, but failing that, a very narrow defeat.
That's right. I mean, up here it's always tough to get up here and beat IPSWICH, you know. But if we can keep it close, I think we have a good chance to go back to POOLE and win it. But you know, Speedway is never finished until we've done 15 heats, and we went up to Wolverhampton and beat them up there, so you never know.
You never know, indeed. Bikes are warming up. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thanks. Neil Middleditch joins us. Cup final, of course, and the Pirates would love nothing more than to do back-to-back doubles.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think the IPSWICH Witches will have something to say about that. But yeah, it would be fantastic. But it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be tough. We knew that as soon as we knew we were facing Ipswich. But yeah, we'll give it our best shot.
So the emphasis shifts tonight, becomes the first leg. You were originally expecting to come back here for the second leg. So you must be, although disappointed that last night wasn't staged, relieved in a way that you've got the final leg.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would like to have done it last night because it's getting cold now. We're going on and on and on, and I think the supporters are getting cold. So yeah, it would have been nice to get it. Also tonight would have been the final. It would have been a great, show for you guys up here as well. But yeah, it's nice to have the home leg now. But to say it's the 31st, it's another week or so away. Yeah, it's getting colder and colder, isn't it?
Well, indeed. And so then we run into logistical problems if, of course, that isn't staged. But
yeah, that's right. Absolutely. I mean, that's what can you do? This is England, isn't it? You just can't predict the weather. I mean, look at today. It's cold and windy, but it's dry. Yesterday down in Poole, it was raining sideways.
I mean, we asked Mike Smiley how he's preparing the team as the legs have sort of just switched round. Are you preparing your boys any differently tonight?
No. I mean, I just speak to them the same as I spoke to them in the playoff, in the final against Wolverhampton. I mean, basically what we've got to do the first leg here tonight is get as many points as we possibly can. I mean, like I said in Wolverhampton, I'd be happy with a 6-point loss, and I'd be happy with a 6-point loss here. And any more than that, it's going to start to be hard work. But yeah, just basically get out there and get the points you get, protect the points you've got, and then hopefully we can go to Poole and maybe nick it.
I mean, because although Wolverhampton met you in the Elite League Championship final, really these are the top two teams on current form on track tonight.
Well, yeah, you can say that, but I mean, at the end of the day, our name's on the trophy, and the Wolverhampton were in the final with us. So, I mean, it's clubs have bad luck, clubs have good luck, and it's just a thing. It comes down to the two best teams. Yeah, it's going to be an attractive fixture, no doubt about it.
Good. Well, we'll let you carry on. Bikes are warming up. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
Right, two teams starting with the POOLE Pirates. At number 1 it is Bjarne PEDERSEN. Number 2 Krzysztof KASPRZAK. He's been scoring well for Poole of late. Matej FERJAN, the former Ipswich rider. He's at number 3. Never got a smile far from his face as the Slovenian, now riding on an Hungarian licence. Of course, indeed, he is the Hungarian champion. There is Antonio Lindback. What a sensational season it's been for the Rocket from Rio, as he's known down Wimborne Roadway, where he has been a fairy tale year for him. Ryan Sullivan, far from fairy tale season for him, although he has helped Poole to win the Sky Bet Elite League. Of course, going for a very rare double-double. At number 6 it is Daniel Davidsson, deep in thought, and at number 7 it is the captain, that is Zorro, of course, Magnus ZETTERSTROM. Seems pretty happy-go-lucky before the start of tonight's meeting. The Poole captain, that's how the visitors line up to the home side, the Ipswich Evening Star Witches. At number 1 it is Hans Andersen, former Poole rider, of course, and we'll be wanting to put one over his former team here this evening. Danny Bird, he rides at number 2. Great to see Danny back in the side. Missed the playoffs, of course, having to ride for his Premier League club at Reading on the Mondays that they were involved, Ipswich were involved in those playoffs. Jesper B JENSEN, he rides at number 3. It's been a little bit up and down for him over the last couple of meetings. Chris Louis at number 4. We're just going through a few loosening up exercises. Scotty Nicholls, the captain, he rides at number 5. Not been the best of years for Scotty. At number 6 with Daniel King, so it really was a fantastic effort by Daniel to become crowned the British under-21, under-18 champion. So, as we say last week at Monmouth Green, defeating James Wright by just a single point. And Kim Jansen, well, he rides at number 7. And well, there's Matt Ford, he's just having a go with a piece of elastic as it's been pulled across. Chris Gay, he's weighing up his options. They're still trying to sort out the electrical problem that they have. Certainly the last thing you would have wanted on such a big occasion. So it did happen in that man's testimonial, Scotty Nicholls. That was a baking hot July afternoon. Jesper B Jensen, he's just explaining his ideas. And so really is an absolutely brilliant atmosphere we've got then as the riders, they're out at the start line then for this heat number 1, and the lineup, well, we've got Bjarne Pedersen, he comes out off gate number 1. Hans Andersen comes out off gate number 2. Fellow Danes, of course, gate number 3. There is Hans. Been a fantastic season for him. He's just missed out on a Grand Prix spot, as has Bjarne Pedersen, but well, there's high hopes from the Danish camp that both will get wild cards. Only Nicky Pedersen, of course, in the Danish from Denmark will be in the Grand Prix next year. As of right, gate number 3, that's his Krzysztof KASPRZAK, the pole from the outside. Danny Bird, heat number 1. Up fly the tapes to get this knockout cup final underway, and it is Hans Andersen off gate 2 who's made the best start. He leads it from Bjarne Pedersen in second. KASPRZAK is in third. Danny Bird, he's in last place, so a shared heat at the moment as Hans comes round to complete lap number 1 then, and it is Andersen that leads the way. Ipswich, they've hosted Poole here twice this season in the A and B fixtures. They beat them by an identical score. Both times at home, 50 points to 43, but they've gone down to 2 heavy defeats away by 58 points to 38 and 48 points to 33 in the rain-curtailed fixture, the B fixture. So Poole, well, going by those start statistics, they will be favourites to take the knockout cup. But matches, they're not won on paper, as we all know, of course, and out on track, and Hans Andersen it is who's going to win heat number 1, it looks like, for Ipswich. He's going to take the checkered flag from KASPRZAK in second. Third place goes to Bjarne Pedersen, Danny Bird at the back. Poole, well, I think they'll be the happier out of the 2 teams after the first race. Obviously trying to keep it as tight as possible. I mean, you can see the animated Hans Andersen there, how much it means to him to win heat number 1. Should be a cracking 30 heats of Speedway, and we'll bring them all to you. We'll be down at Wimborne Road as well, hopefully next Sunday now, a week Sunday, as we come on to heat number 2. The time of heat number 1, 60.9 seconds. The lineup for this one, we've got Daniel King coming out off gate number 1, the new British under-18 champion. Gate number 2 sees the Swede, or one of the 2 Swedes for Poole in this one, Davidsson. Fellow Swede Kim Jansen is out off gate number 3, and Magnus ZETTERSTROM comes out off gate number 4, and just a sample there of some of the huge crowd down the back straight. There's a massive crowd for Scott Nicholls' testimonial in mid-July, or midsummer rather, towards the end of July, and this one, well, it's not that far off. This mid-October, as heat number 2 gets underway, and well, it is Daniel King from the inside who's made a good start, and Kim Jansen has gone with him, as in fact the red lights have come on and the red flags are out, and referee Chris Gay, we saw a bit of movement there, an unsatisfactory start, so he's called the 4 riders back to the start line. Ipswich, where they had made the gates. Let's see what happens in the restart of heat number 2 then, the reserves race. Normally can be a bit of a pointer as to how the match is going to go. Heat number 2, well, it is Daniel King has made a good start second time around, just as he did first time. Kim Jansen made an awful one though, and he's at the back. Magnus ZETTERSTROM in second place. Daniel Davidsson is in third. But it really was a dreadful start by Kim Jansen. In fact, well, he's fallen on the first lap, so that is not good news at all for Ipswich. Daniel King, well, he's being put under a lot of pressure by Magnus ZETTERSTROM, the Poole captain. Really was very emotional indeed when he lifted the Sky Bet Elite League trophy in front of his fans down at Wimborne Road a couple of weeks ago. Now he's got a chance of doing likewise with the Elite League Knockout Cup. Of course, now this is the first leg, and he's chasing hard after young Daniel King. But Daniel, well, he's grown immensely this season in stature. He really can beat well, most reserves and quite a few second strings, and he's beaten the odd heat leader as well this season. And when he wins heat number 2 in great fashion, second place goes to ZETTERSTROM. Kim Jansen, he'll be bitterly disappointed with his first ride. Daniel Davidsson in third. Now, well, I think we've got about 2,000 school kids here this evening, judging by the screams we're hearing. 62 seconds exactly, that's the winning time. We open up with a couple of shared heats. Poole will be the happier. After 2 races, Daniel, he's got a lot of female support, and well, I think he's getting an extra scream or 2 from them as he goes round the stock car track on another lap of honour. Great start for the youngster. 6 points apiece after 2 races. There is Kim Jansen. Daniel just coming straight back into the pits. Got a bit of a break to his next ride. He's not due out till heat number 7. And well, in the spot, of course, the late great Billy Sanders used to have his pits area. And well, the great Michael Lee, the former world champion, helps Daniel out these days. Really has learnt a lot from Michael as Daniel. Magnus Zedderstrom having a few words there with Ryan Sullivan about track conditions as the riders are out for heat number 3. And the lineup for this one, well, we've got Matej FERJAN coming out of gate number 1. Matej, former Ipswich rider 3 or 4 seasons ago. Off gate number 2, it is Chris Louis. Matej, of course, will he come in to replace Jason Lyons mid-season. Jason, inexplicably, just could not get amongst the points earlier this year. He's, of course, gone on to Newcastle in the Premier League and has been top dog for them. So Matej, he's off gate 1. Chris Louis, what a comeback season it's been for him. He's off gate number 2. Gate 3 sees Antonio Lindback. What a star in the making. He is, in fact, a star now, of course, and Jesper B Jensen. He's had a solid year. He's off gate number 4. Heat number 3 is about to get underway. The race starts, and into that first bend, it is Jensen off gate number 4, who's made a brilliant gate. He leads the way down the back straight. FERJAN is in second place. Chris Louis in third, and Antonio Lindback, who does not rate this as one of his favourite tracks, he's at the back. As they come around to complete lap number 1, then it is Jesper Jensen who's out in first place. FERJAN in second place. His former teammate Chris Louis in pursuit in third. Lindback, who has hardly scored a point here for Poole in his visits. Probably his worst track that he's scoring wise that he races on in the Elite League over here in the UK. He's at the back. Matej FERJAN meanwhile in second place. It looks as if it's going to be Ipswich who are going to take the lead for the first time here as they come in to start the final lap. Jesper B Jensen, it's going to be a take the flags victory for him. And in fact FERJAN, well, he's gone out a little bit wide. He looks over and Chris Louis has made a move and he's come through in the second place. And it's exactly what Ipswich would have wanted, a 5-1 from this pairing. They've had plenty this season. And well, the roars ring round Foxhall Heath as Jesper B and Chris Louis score a 5-1 in Heat 3. Terrific stuff. Now, well, let's take another look and see what happened to Matej FERJAN. He knew straight away that he'd made a bit of an error here, going out too wide, and looks over almost immediately and sees Chris Louis on his inside. And well, Louis, he needs no second invitation. He had the speed coming out of the second bend and took Matej down the back straight as they went into that third corner. Jesper B Jensen, the race winner. Chris Louis joining in for a 5-1, 60.9 the winning time. As we move on to heat number 4 then, Ipswich leading by 11 points to 7. And the lineup for this one, we got Magnus Zedderstrom coming out off gate number 1, ran a second place in his first ride. Gate number 2 is Kim Jansen, awful first outing for him, I want to forget that. Ryan Sullivan off 3, Scotty Nicholls off gate 4. And as they go into that first bend, well, in fact it is Ryan Sullivan who had the speed out of the start to take the lead. He really did motor out of the gate there. He leads the way. Kim Jansen in second, Scotty Nicholls in third. Will he stay there to protect Kim as they complete the opening lap? It is Ryan Sullivan who leads the way. His teammate and captain Magnus Zedderstrom, he's at the back. I think Scotty Nicholls is going to protect Kim Jansen as they come round to start lap number 3. Then Sullivan it is who leads the way. Ryan, of course, another rider who's missed out on automatic qualification for next year's Grand Prix series, just as the rider in third place in this heat, Scotty Nicholls, has as well. No Englishman at the moment in the top 10 in the world. The first time that's happened since the early 70s. And Scotty Nicholls, if he gets a wild card for next, or a seeded spot for next year, we're going to put that right. Ryan Sullivan, he's also hoping for one as he wins heat number 4. He gets a victory. Second place goes to Jansen. Scott Nicholls in third. Magnus Zedderstrom, a last place for him. 61.3. Ryan Sullivan's winning time. And Poole, well, they win their first race of the night, courtesy of the rider who came in to replace Tony Rickardson after a month of the season. How well have Poole done to retain the Elite League title, having lost the 5 times world champion. Sullivan has come in and has done a good job, not spectacular. He has got going over the last couple of months of the season, but it's taken him a long time to get dialed in, especially down the Wimborne Road circuit, but he's going well now. Magnus ZETTERSTROM, last place for him in that one. Won't be too pleased with that. Scotty Nicholls, well, he didn't make the gate, and we had to protect JANSON there. Well, that's what he decided to do, and we can see it's pretty cold, so keep the gloves warm on the engine. Great pit scenes, of course, that the fans don't normally get to see. We're bringing to you. JANSON, we'll be pleased to have got amongst the points in that one. As we get ready for heat number 5, Bjarne PEDERSEN, he's just being pushed off, and the riders, well, they are at the start line. And the full lineup for this one, we've got Jesper B JENSEN coming out of gate number 1. Great win from gate number 4 in his first ride. Gate number 2, well, that sees Krzysztof KASPRZAK. He did well to follow home Andersen in his first outing. There is Jesper B just making sure everything is 100% on his machine, checking the fuel taps, as is KASPRZAK off gate number 2. Gate number 3, well, that sees Chris Louis, who did magnificently well to find a way past Matej FERJAN on that last lap in heat number 3, going through his pre-race ritual. And from the outside it is Bjarne PEDERSEN, paid second in his first ride in heat number 1. So heat number 5 then. Can IPSWICH possibly repeat the 5-1 this pairing got a couple of races ago as the race gets underway and into that first turn? Well, they may be able to do so because Chris Louis it is who's made the start. JANSON is going with him, but Bjarne PEDERSEN, well, he's just got the speed to come around the outside of his fellow Dane. He's in second spot. Chris Louis it is though, the former England and IPSWICH captain who leads the way, former world number 3. And well, we thought he was a former Speedway rider as well until the start of this season, but he really has done fantastically well, averaging 8 points per match for IPSWICH this year. It has been a brilliant comeback season for Chris, and well, no doubt he'll be back with IPSWICH next year as well, as will most of these teams. I think they really have gelled magnificently well after their terrible season last year. All their matches were over by September the 4th, but now we're running into late October the 21st, and well, this is the Elite League Knockout Cup final, first leg, heat number 5. It's going to be a win for Chris Louis. Bjarne PEDERSEN, where he holds off the close attentions of Jesper B. KASPRZAK finishing at the back in that one. It's another heat advantage for IPSWICH then, a 4-2 this time, and that sees them increase the lead to 6 points. A good start by the Evening Star Witches, just what their fans would have hoped for. There's Louis. He's unbeaten after his first 2 rides. Brilliant start to the meeting for him. And being applauded all the way around the stock car track. I think the rides have started this year, and it's gone down extremely well with the supporters.
Chris, it's a great start for yourself. What's the track like out there?
Track's maybe a little slicker than we would have thought, but it's good as usual, and we're getting dialed in.
Yeah. Is it the sort of start that you wanted?
Ahead of Poole, that's got to be good enough for now.
Are you confident that the boys are up for it and we can carry on and IPSWICH can make a good lead in the first leg?
Yeah, obviously we're up for it, and yeah, we need a good lead, but if we haven't got a big lead, then we'll go to Poole and do our best anyway.
You must be happy with your own 2 races, a lovely pass and a great start.
Yeah, it was nice to get that pass in. It's normally a bit frustrating trying to pass people in the early heats, but it's going according to plan.
And it most certainly is, and Chris, we've rushed out to watch the riders in action for heat number 6. IPSWICH, you can see, leading by 18 points to 12, and the lineup where we've got Sullivan coming out off gate number 1. Looked very fast in his first ride a couple of races ago. Gate number 2, that sees Danny Bird. He finished at the back in his first outing. He'll be hoping to make up for that. Daniel Davidsson, he comes out off gate number 3. He was placed second in his first ride. And from the outside it's Hans Andersen, who won heat number 1. So we've got the race winners of heats 1 and 4 in this heat. Probably will be between the riders off gates 1 and 4. Which way will it go? As John Fitch, he just pulls the riders up to line. They've got a fantastic atmosphere, as we've said before, here this evening. Who will come out on top over 30 heats? We're on to heat number 6. As the race gets underway, and Andersen looks like he's made a fast start off of 4, but Ryan Sullivan's made a better one. Andersen cuts back on the inside in great fashion, and he leads the way. He sends Sullivan out wide, and Danny Bird has been able to come through into second place. Well, that's got the fans screaming once again, as Hans Andersen it is who leads the way. And well, that really was a fantastic cutback by him, and well, by pushing Sullivan out towards the fence, it allowed Danny Bird to come through into second place. And Bird, can he hold off the Australian champion? Couple of laps gone, couple to go, and he's doing a fantastic job at the moment. Hans Andersen it is who leads the way. Bird in second place. Ryan Sullivan, who looked so quick in his first ride, it doesn't look like he's got the speed to find a way past Danny at the moment as they start the final lap, and it is Andersen that leads the way. He's set for his second victory in a row. Second place it is Danny Bird. Sullivan only back in third. Ipswich, what a great start this is for them. They're going to move 10 points in front after 6 races against the Elite League champions. Sullivan in third, Daniel Davidsson at the back. 61.4 the winning time. A great 5-1 for the home side. Now we'll take another look at this out of the start. And was Sullivan from the inside who made the gate, but Hans Andersen with a brilliant cutback there on the inside. And when he just sends Ryan Sullivan out wide enough, and it allowed Danny through into second place. Great team riding there by the Ipswich number 1. And we're delighted with that, a 10-point lead. After 6 races, can they build on that? Oh, and well, Andersen there crying out. He really is totally committed to the Ipswich cause, of course. Really is up for this meeting, as well, both sets of riders are, of course. Really is a big event for both teams. Danny Bird, he'll be delighted to have got amongst the points. Ryan Sullivan, he won't be too pleased with that. Just having a few words there with Neil Middleditch. As the riders get ready at the start line then for heat number 7. 23 points to 13 the score. Scotty Nicholls, he comes out off gate number 1 in this one, now sponsored of course by Ham Racing, a big sponsorship that he got at the start of the season. Alan Ham, former Bradford promoter, paying in a lot of money into Scotty this year. Hasn't really worked out point in results wise for him in the Grand Prix. He's done well enough in the Elite League, but hopefully he'll have a better season next year if he does get one of the seeded spots. So it's Scotty off gate number 1, Matej FERJAN off gate number 2. Started with a third in his first ride. Off gate number 3 we got Daniel King from the outside, Antonio Lindback. Scott Nicholls, of course, the Ipswich motive on his arm there. Now he really is Ipswich through and through. He did have a couple of seasons, of course, with Poole around about the year 2000, 2001. That was to get experience away from Foxhall. It really did work out well for him, and Poole, of course, at the time. He's fully committed to Ipswich now, obviously. Heat number 7, what a great shot that is as the race gets underway. And out of the start, and Lindback, well, he got some lift there, and it runs, and Scott Nicholls, well, he's made a brilliant gate. He leads the way from FERJAN in second. In third spot, well, that's very tight. In fact, well, Daniel King, well, he's come down there under pressure from Antonio Lindback, and he's trying to get off the track, but in fact the race, well, it's going to have to be stopped. Let's take another look at this one. We're following Scotty Nicholls out in front, Matej FERJAN in second, Daniel King, well, he was in third, but he got a bit close to FERJAN there, and well, he had to bail out, and well, I'm afraid that's going to be an exclusion for the youngster. He was ahead of Lindback at the time, and well, that is unfortunate for Daniel and Ipswich. So 3 riders only for the restart then of heat number, or the rerun rather, of heat number 7. No Daniel King. Scotty Nicholls out by himself. He was leading first time around. See what he can do in the rerun. And well, he's made another brilliant start from the inside. He leads down the back straight. FERJAN, well, he's close enough to Scotty, but unable to find a way past Matej. Well, he really is a brilliant starter, and he wins a lot of races from the tapes, but he does sometimes get overtaken. We've noticed in his career in Britain, and not very often that he is able to find a way past riders. I don't think he's going to get past Scotty Nicholls on his home track here this evening either. Nicholls looks like he's going to help maintain Ipswich's 10-point lead. They'll be pleased with the way the first half of the first leg of the Knockout Cup final has gone. They start the final lap. Nicholls on his way to his first victory. Ferjan in second. Lindback back in third. He's going to get paid for a couple in this one at least. They'll be pleased with that, no doubt. In fact, he's going to get more than that because Scott Nicholls, well, that's a disaster for him at Ipswich. He's ground to a halt off that final bend. And well, I didn't see no spark there from the chain. I think that may well have been an engine failure. And well, he comes across the line. And well, that's an awful moment for him. And Ipswich, it means Poole score a 5-1 and they close the gap to within just 6 points. Matty wins the race in a time of 61.3 seconds. Unexpected victory for him. Antonio Lindback gets paid for second. The Poole fans, well, it's their turn to cheer. And well, that's the bike that Scotty was. Nicholls has blown his engine to smithereens. He's going to have to come out on his second bike for his next ride in heat number 11. So things not going Ipswich's way in that heat, that's for sure. But with Daniel King taking that tumble, a 5-1 for Poole. They can count their blessings there. Matej FERJAN, he'll be delighted to have got that win. Bjarne PEDERSEN works on his bike. He's due out again in heat number 11. He's got a bit of time then as we move on to heat number 8. And this race where we've got Kim Jansen coming out off gate number 1. That full course in the second for him so far. Gate number 2 sees Magnus ZETTERSTROM. He's had a second and a last. Gate number 3, that sees Danny Bird at last and that paid win in heat number 6. And from the outside it is Krzysztof KASPRZAK, who's also had a second place and a last. So the form, that's how they've gone here this evening. But this race, I think it could go any way really. KASPRZAK has looked pretty lively. Kim Jansen, well, he's had some good scores for Ipswich, especially at home. He could nip out of the start. Let's see if he can as they go into that first turn. And it is in fact Krzysztof KASPRZAK from gate number 4 who leads the way down the back straight from Jansen in second. Danny Bird is in third. Magnus ZETTERSTROM, well, he's again struggling out of the gate. He's at the back as they complete the opening lap. Then it is Krzysztof KASPRZAK who leads the way. He's had some good scores for Poole this season. Now up into the main part of the team. They have been a very good unit, the Pirates. Throughout their 1 to 7. Quite a few of the riders have swapped places during the season and ended up in the reserve berth. Krzysztof KASPRZAK started off there. He started off the season with Swindon, of course, too, got injured and then found himself down at Poole as he couldn't be fitted into the Swindon lineup. He's taken his chance. He's certainly taken his chance in heat number 8 because he's going to get the victory. Danny Bird is closing in, but it's going to be 3 points for the Polish Poole Pirate. He wins it. Krzysztof KASPRZAK from Danny Bird in second. Kim Jansen in third. Magnus ZETTERSTROM, well, that's another last place for him. And Poole, well, I'm sure they'll be pleased with that. A 3-all in that heat. 61.1 the winning time. And Krzysztof, he wins his first race of the evening in his third ride. And Danny Bird back in the pits area. He's got one more outing to come. Paid 5 for his 3 so far. Kim Jansen, he got the better of fellow Swede Magnus ZETTERSTROM in that one. There is KASPRZAK having a few words with Matt Ford, co-promoter of the Poole Pirates, and Matt, well, obviously delighted with Krzysztof with that one.
Right, we're at the interval stage and the Witches on 27, the Pirates on 21. We're joined by Matej FERJAN, a win last time out. You've settled into the conditions tonight?
Yeah, we're trying our best. We are lucky with the weather. The track is good. Everybody trying, to race very good, and both teams, they are pretty strong, and I hope the best team will win. But every team needs some luck as well.
So the Pirates have already scooped the Elite League Championship, as we've said many times already on the video, so making it a double would cap another memorable season for Poole.
Yeah, of course, everybody, like I said, want to win, and this year I'm racing for Poole, and I hope we will have a second win as well. And it's always hard on the away, but we are very comfortable at home, and I hope we can do the best tonight.
So you rode for the Witches for a season there and proved to be a favourite of the fans, and good to be back?
Yeah, it's good, you know, I like the place, I like the track, and that's why I'm trying my best as well.
Not too much shine off these earrings, is there? Look at those dangling there. You're not meant to wear earrings, you know. You're meant to take them out before the start.
Will come more. Next year will be more.
Oh, more, right. Look out for more piercings from Matej FERJAN. Back on with the action. Thank you.
Well, indeed, Kevin, as we move on to heat number 9 then, as we start the second half of the meeting. And the lineup for this one, we've got Chris Louis coming out off gate number 1, unbeaten after his first 2 rides. Gate number 2, that sees Ryan Sullivan a win in the 3rd place for him so far. He has been starting very smartly indeed. Gate number 3 sees Jesper B Jensen a win in the 3rd place, and from the outside it is Daniel Davidsson, played 2nd, his best so far from his 2 outings. So heat number 9 then, John Fitch just getting the riders up to the line. It's about to get underway as the tapes up they fly, and into that first bend. Who's flown out and start with is Ryan Sullivan off gate number 2. He leads the way from Jesper B Jensen in 2nd place. Chris Louis is back in 3rd. Davidsson at the back. Sullivan it is who's made another one of his fast gates. He leads the way at the end of lap number 1. Jensen in pursuit. Chris Louis also, he's trying on that inside line. Jensen, when he tries outside to say this pair in for Ipswich, they really have had a hugely successful season. One of the reasons Ipswich did finish 3rd in the Elite League table and have made it through to the Knockout Cup final. The Witches, of course, they defeated Arena Essex over the 2 legs in the semi-final, winning both legs to make it through to this big event. Poole, well, they thrashed Swindon. They're home tied by 61 points to 30, and even though they lost at Abbey Stadium, they went through very comfortably indeed to secure their place in the final. Ryan Sullivan, well, he's going to secure his 2nd victory. He wins heat number 9 from Jesper B in 2nd, Chris Louis in 3rd. Davidsson is always going to be tough for him in that one. He's at the back. Our 2nd shared heat in a row, our 5th in all. 61.4, that was Florian Ryan Sullivan's winning time, and still 6 points between the 2 teams. Ipswich, well, they did lead by 10, of course, a couple of races ago, or 3 heats ago. They'll be wanting to get back into double figure score before too long. As we move on to heat number 10, can Hans Andersen and Danny Bird do that for them in this one? They're the riders for the Witches. Danny, he comes out off gate number 1. Antonio Lindback, well, he's off gate number 2, a paid win his last ride. I think that's the best he's ever done here at Ipswich. Off gate number 3 it is Hans Andersen from the outside. Matej FERJAN, who took that rather fortunate win in his last ride. But obviously, you've got not just about the man, it is about the machine as well. And that's got to complete 4 laps. Also, as the riders are settling at the start. What's going to happen? Heat number 10, Hans Andersen should be the favourite in this one. As the race, when it gets underway, and into that first turn when Lindback got a bit of lift, but he's also there. In fact, and Hans Andersen, well, he's gone out very wide indeed, and he's stone last. It is Lindback who leads the way from Danny Bird in 2nd. Matej FERJAN is in 3rd place, and the rider we thought would be winning this heat comfortably is way at the back. Hans Andersen in all sorts of problems on that first bend, going out wide, almost hit the safety fence. And well, he's stone last, as you can see. He's trying to close in on Matej FERJAN. A couple of laps gone, but it is Antonio Lindback, a sight he hasn't seen very often at Foxhall. He's, if ever, he's got fresh air in front of him. He leads the way from Danny Bird, having a good race in 2nd. FERJAN in 3rd, and Andersen, well, he's not enjoying this heat at all. Unbeaten after his first 2 rides, but he looks like he could be running a last in heat number 10. Antonio Lindback, the rocket from Rio, he's going to win heat number 10, and it's going to be a heat advantage for Poole, most unexpected, as Lindback takes the checkered flag from Danny Bird in 2nd, Matej FERJAN in 3rd. What on earth happened to Hans Andersen at the back? Well, Hans, in fact, just gesticulating there towards Lindback. Let's take another look and see if we can see anything untoward as they come out of the start. And well, Lindback there, he gets a bit of lift. He's out of control momentarily, but gets that front wheel down pretty quick. Andersen, he just gets sent out wide by Lindback. It's happened many times before. Well, I don't think Hans can have too many arguments about that. Just a racing incident, tight first turn, and well, he finishes up pointless in this one. Antonio Lindback, race winner in heat number 10 here at Foxhall Heath. So I think that's the first time we've said that. And the Poole fans, well, they're going to be delighted. And Antonio, well, never ever seen that before. Won a race, thought he'd have a massive hot dog. He's certainly a one-off, isn't he? And Andersen, he'll be very disappointed with that. Last place. I've now won all season. Danny Bird, he finished off with place 7. He's done well, done his job this evening. As we move on to heat number 11, can Scott Nicholls do his job in this one and win the race? He's off gate number 2. Krzysztof KASPRZAK, who won his last heat in race number 8. He's off gate number 1. Off gate number 3, it is Bjarne Pedersen. He's scored paid 4 so far without looking likely to win a heat. And from the outside it is Daniel King, who has had a win and that fall in his second outing in race number 7. Now the riders, they really are in no great hurry to come to the start line. It's a very clear evening, the moon is out, we're not going to have there's no chance of any rain here this evening, thankfully, after the problems incurred at down at deepest Dorset yesterday rather, which meant the first leg had to be postponed. They're going to run it the last day of the season, the last official day of the season. As we get ready then, heat number 11, Nicholls, King, Pedersen, KASPRZAK. Another great action shot there as the riders come out of the start and into that first bend. Well, it is KASPRZAK, the pole who's made a gate. Daniel King has gone out wide, he's at the back. Scotty Nicholls just edges past Bjarne Pedersen in the second place. But here's another heat advantage for the POOLE Pirates, and Pedersen, well, he almost gets the beat in there of Scotty Nicholls on the inside. Nicholls, well, he's got to ride a tighter line to keep Pedersen behind him. He goes, although he's saying that, he goes out a bit wide on that turn, but he's got the speed to forge a couple of bike lengths lead over the Poole number 1. But Krzysztof KASPRZAK it is who leads the way. Most unexpected, a win in heat number 8. Well, perhaps that wasn't, but this most definitely is with Scotty Nicholls behind him. It looks as if it could be another heat advantage for Poole, and this would bring them to within just a couple of points of things definitely turning in this first leg of the Knockout Cup final. It should have been led by 10 points, but that looks as if it's going to be whittled down to a couple of points with 4 races remaining. As KASPRZAK, well, he's going to take an excellent victory. The Poole fans, well, they're absolutely elated about that. Nicholls in second, Pedersen back in third, Daniel King at the back, 61.6 the winning time. And well, who would have expected that? Handshakes between Scotty and Krzysztof. Out of the start, we can see again here into that first bend, and it was a great gate by KASPRZAK, which enabled him to win the race, but it's very tight for second and third. You can see Scotty Nicholls holding on to that second place at the moment, but then watch here as Bjarne Pedersen, well, how tight was that? The 2 riders almost clashing, but Scotty, well, he was just able to repel that challenge from the Poole number 1. It was mighty tight though, as Krzysztof KASPRZAK, well, he gets the winner. He gets the win in heat number 11, 61.6 the winning time, and with that halves Ipswich's lead to just a couple of points. As we move on to heat number 12 then, and the lineup for this one, we got Jesper B Jensen, he comes out in red, he's off gate number 2, off gate number 1, we've got to change. Neil Middleditch makes a reserve switch, out goes Daniel Davidsson, in comes the captain Magnus ZETTERSTROM. Gate number 3 sees Matej FERJAN, a win, a couple of thirds for him so far, the Hungarian champion. Riding on the Hungarian licence, of course, is the Slovenian, multi-time Slovenian champion as well as Matej, but he's had a bit of a falling out with the authorities over there, so now riding on a Hungarian licence. Happened before, it happened again, no doubt. Kim Jansen, he's coming out off gate number 4. So heat number 12, Ipswich 34, Poole 32, 4 pulsating heats to come here from Foxhall Heath, no doubt, as the race gets underway. And into that first turn, and when in fact it's a dreadful start by Jensen and Jansen, And there in third and fourth place it is Matej FERJAN who leads the way. We know what a fast gaiter he is. And Magnus ZETTERSTROM, well, he's joined him at the front. And Jensen, well, he drops to the back. An awful ride by the Dane in his final ride here this evening. And well, this could be a 5-1 for Poole, and this would see them move 2 points in front. And well, it's a disaster for Ipswich in heat number 12. Great for Poole, obviously, as Matej FERJAN leads the way from Magnus ZETTERSTROM. So what an astute change of reserve by Neil Middleditch. And he's brought in Zorro in this race to replace Davidsson. It looks like he's going to pay maximum dividends with a lap to go. It is Matej FERJAN who's heading towards his second victory of the meeting, and Zorro is going to join him for a 5-1. Jansen unable to beat Magnus in this race. It's going to be a 5-1 for Poole, and well, that is disaster for Ipswich. They've seen their 10-point lead disappear, and we'll look at that, the scenes for the Poole fans, and well, they've got every reason to be delighted as well. 5-1, we can see again how it happened. Watch for Jensen off gate number 2, and well, he's the meat in the sandwich here, the Poole sandwich, as he gets chopped down there, but well, he just didn't make a good start at all. And a great start by the 2 Poole riders, fully deserving their 5-1. That's the second one involving Matej FERJAN. What a comeback by Poole, no wonder they are the champions of the Sky Bet Elite League, showing great spirit here tonight. 61.6 the winning time. Matty back in the pits after that victory. And well, Ipswich, it's all gone a little bit quiet on their side of the camp. There is Magnus ZETTERSTROM. He'll be delighted with that paid win. The real captain's effort in that one. And well, say desperation. That sums it up from Jesper B Jensen. 3 heats to go. Ipswich now trail by 37 points to 35. 4 of the big guns come out in this one though. We've got Hans Andersen coming out off gate number 1. There he is. Last in his previous ride, of course, having opened up with a couple of victories. He'll be wanting to get back to winning ways in this one, and well, need to really. Ipswich off gate number 2. It is Bjarne PEDERSEN, paid 5 from his 3 rides so far. Gate number 3, that sees hot shot Scotty Nicholls. Scotty, well, surprisingly hasn't won a race so far. He's only scored paid 5 from his 3 rides, and that's not the sort of performance he would have wanted. Of course, he did have that engine failure in his second ride when set for a victory. And from the outside is Ryan Sullivan, who has had a couple of wins here this evening. So ultra important heat, the 4 heat leaders. Ipswich, where they are desperate for a 5-1 or 4-2 at the very least to move back into the lead, or at least get on level terms. Heat number 13 about to get underway as the tapes fly up. Who's flown out of the start? Well, it is Andersen and Nicholls who lead the way down the back straight from the 2 POOLE Pirates. Pedersen is in third, Sullivan at the back, not gating as he has done so far this evening. And well, what a great start it has been by Scotty Nicholls and Hans Andersen. They are on a 5-1. Scotty leading the way on the outside. Hans Andersen, we shadowing him on the inside. Bjarne PEDERSEN in pursuit, but it's going to take a massive effort for him to get past either of the Ipswich riders. A couple of laps to go, and this is better news for the home side. It really has been a topsy-turvy first leg, and it looks as if the Evening Star Witches could find themselves 2 points in front with a couple of races to go. Now a couple more heat advantages would give them a chance down at Poole. As Scotty Nicholls, well, he's going to come round and take the victory. A great effort by him and Hans Andersen. They do score a 5-1 over Bjarne PEDERSEN in third. Ryan Sullivan runs the last for the first time this evening. Someone had to, of course, in that race, and unfortunately for Poole it was Sully. 61.9 the winning time. A great effort by Hans and Scott. And well, I imagine we will be seeing the pair of them out again in heat number 15, having secured that 5-1 in normally the hardest heat of the night. We move on to heat number 14. 40 points to Ipswich, 38 to Poole. Another big race coming up, and Mike Smiley, well, he makes his first change of the evening. Out goes Daniel King, in comes Kim Jansen. A reserve switch by the Ipswich team manager. I don't think he's going to get the sort of lead that he was hoping for. after the first leg, winning 10 points plus, but it's looking a pretty big order now. Well, they could still do it, a couple of 5-1s, see what happens. Chris Louis, Kim Jansen, red and blue, Antonio Lindback, Magnus Zetterstrom, green and yellow and black. Lindback, of course, who won his last ride, a paid win before that, following on from his last place. Heat number 14, it's underway. And into that first turn where Chris Louis made a great start off of it. Gate number 4, as he often does in this race this season. But Lindback has followed him as well, going into that third turn. Lindback, well, he's chasing hard, and in fact he's got the better of Louis, sent him out a little bit wide, but at the same time Jensen has come through in the third place ahead of Zetterstrom. Can Louis come back to Antonio on the inside? It's very little between the pair of them, a couple of bike lengths as they come around to complete lap number 2 then. Kim Jansen, well, there's a great move by him to find a way past Zetterstrom. Just it was a superb effort by Lindback to find a way past the legend that is Chris Louis as they go down the back straight for the third time. Lindback it is who leads the way, and Chris Louis, well, he is giving chase. The final lap flag is out. It looks as if it could be a shared heat. This would suit Poole more than what it would Ipswich as they go into that third bend for the final time. Chris Louis, well, I don't think he's quite got the speed to, or is he to find a way past Lindback? It's going to be a race to the line. Lindback, well, he does hold on for the win from Chris Louis in second. Third spot goes to Kim Jansen, a terrific heat in race number 14, a 3-all. The crowd appreciating what a great race that was. And Lindback, well, he's coming back to receive the applause from the Poole fans. There they are. He really is a great showman, is Antonio. 60.7 is winning time in that. And I told you the showman, a wheelie down the back straight, a 3-all then. Heat number 14, we can see again out of the start it was Chris Louis who looked for all the world as if he was going to take the victory here. He often makes a good start off gate number 4 in heat 14, but Antonio Lindback was not speed denied. He comes through, but look here as Jansen, well, he also got the beating of Magnus Zetterstrom. Same time that Lindback was finding a way past Louis almost. And a 3-all in heat number 14. We're going to come into the last race with just 2 points between the teams. Antonio, well, what a character this young man is. Certainly his best meeting by far at Foxhall Heath. That hot dog obviously did the trick. Bjarne PEDERSEN, I think he's coming out in the final race. The Poole number 1, that man is. Off comes the hat, on goes the crash helmet. And with that man, of course, being Krzysztof KASPRZAK, that man, well, he's not coming out. Chris Louis, he's had a great evening. 8 paid 10, but Mike Smiley has gone with Andersen and Scotty Nicholls. They scored that 5-1 in heat number 13, and Mike was obviously hoping that they can repeat the feat in the final race. And talking of which, it's about to take place then. Ipswich 43, Poole 41. The lineup for heat number 15 has been pulsating action here this evening. I'm sure it's going to be the same at Wimborne Road a week on Sunday. The lineup, we've got Hans Andersen off gate number 1. Gate number 2 sees Ryan Sullivan, ran a last in heat number 13. Gate number 3, that sees Scotty Nicholls. He won that race, of course, and Krzysztof KASPRZAK from the outside. The final race, up fly the tapes, and into that first bend where it is. Andersen has made a good start, and Scotty Nicholls, just as he did in heat number 13, he's gone with him. And it could be a 5-1 for the home side. And Scotty, well, now he's moving on the inside line. Hans Andersen riding the outer with Ryan Sullivan. Again, well, he's only back in third place. KASPRZAK, well, he's certainly earned his place in heat number 15, but he's in last place, having won his last 2 outings. He's at the back though, and it looks as if at Ipswich, well, what a topsy-turvy meeting this has been. The Evening Star Witches 10 points up after 6 races, but then dropped a couple of points behind after 12. That was a great comeback by Poole, but this has been a sterling effort by Ipswich to give themselves some sort of chance down at Wimborne Road. And well, it looks like it's going to be a 6-point lead, although we can never be too sure. Of course, remember what happened to Scotty Nicholls in heat number 7 as Hans Andersen and Scott Nicholls, though it looks as if they're going to get a much needed 5-1 in the final race. Indeed they are. Ryan Sullivan finishes third with Krzysztof KASPRZAK at the back. A 5-1 to finish with then, and a 48-42 victory for the home side. They have got a chance down at Poole, although they're going to have to perform better than they did in their A and B fixtures. Let's take another look out of the start. And you can see again here as Scotty Nicholls comes around the outside of Sully and on the inside of Hans Andersen. Terrific move by he. And a 5-1 to finish with them. What a great couple of maximum heat advantages these two had in heats 13 and 15. As Hans celebrates with a wheelie. The crowd, the majority of them, they'll be delighted the way Ipswich have come back. I should imagine the Poole riders management and fans will be pretty pleased as well. Just 6 point lead to overcome in the second leg. And the way they've ridden against Ipswich twice already this year, they must start as odds-on favourites, but as I say, a great finish to the meeting. Ipswich have got a chance, 48 points to 42, you can see there on the caption. As Hans, when he's coming around on another lap, on just look at the reception that he is getting. Great scenes here at Foxhall Heath. They really did need that maximum heat advantage in the final race. Ipswich, well, they are going to go down to Wimborne Road with thoughts of victory, no doubt. They ran Wolverhampton to a draw, of course, in the playoff semi-final, only going out in a run-off between that man in your picture and Michael Max.
You heard it here, let's go and do our best at Wimborne Road. It's exactly what the Witches will do. It won't be till Sunday the 31st of October. That's Halloween. That's when the Witches really do come into their own. So let's hope that happens at Wimborne Road. We'll be down there with ReRun Videos to film all the action. So why not join us again? ReRun Video. Goodbye.